What's good, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome back to the Water Boys channel as we are diving into another mock draft as it is Friday. Yes, this is a little later, so this will probably be posting up for most people on Saturday, but I made sure to still get it out for you guys. But please be sure to subscribe to the channel as we are getting closer and closer day in and day out to the draft. So that means I'm going to keep diving more and more and more, and then I'm going to give you an official mock draft the day before. The day before the draft. I'll get one right out and try to make it as precise and my initial thoughts. And there's going to be all kind of mock drafts we're going to go into as well. Going to bring the simulator background. We're going to dive into these receivers, and we're just going to have fun before this whole thing wraps up and we see what route KC goes in the draft. So be sure to subscribe, and without further ado, let's jump into this 3-round NFL mock draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. So if you are new to the channel and checking this out, what I like to do with these mock drafts is kind of change it up here in and here out. So this one's going to be different from previous ones. If you haven't seen the previous ones, please go to my channel and check that out. I got probably like 3 or 4, and then I got simulators out there as well that we just have fun with, and we see what kind of positions we can check out. But I try to switch it up just so you know. We can explore any route that the Kansas City Chiefs might go through this draft, and with this one, I'm going to start it off a little different. I say KC rarely goes this route. They haven't done it since they drafted Marcus Peters. With their first round pick, the number 29 selection, I have them drafting Kair Elam. Now, if you guys haven't checked out my cornerback rankings for the Chiefs, I'm very high on Kair Elam as well. He's one of my favorite cornerbacks coming out of the draft. It depends on who you ask. I kind of like him more than Andrew Booth, but a lot of people like Andrew Booth better. I just like the physicality he brings, Kair Elam brings to the game. He's a hard tackler. He knows where the football is at. He knows how to shut down a man. He's very precise on covering a receiver's route. And I think he would be a great young cornerback to help develop in this Chiefs DB room. Now, the reason I went cornerback here is because DB was in the rumors with the Chiefs throughout this offseason with Stephon Gilmore, and then we have a James Bradbury as well. It looks like both of those guys aren't going to KC, so let's go to the route to where, hey, KC might want to settle this early in round 1. So we'll have Elam going with the 29th overall pick in round 1. Now, at the 30th pick, too, and then also, too, if you are new, what I'm doing with this mock draft is I'm not trading in, I'm not trading up, I'm not trading down. We're just going to stick with the picks. The simulator is where we're going to trade all of our picks, have fun with it. Right here, we're just going to stick with the picks. The only time I'm going to trade picks is probably my final mock draft the night before the draft, because that's going to be my gut feeling on how I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to do. But let's dive into the 30th overall pick. And I know I haven't been a huge fan of him, but he's kind of growing on me, and the Chiefs need the position, and it's edge rusher. I'm going to go Boye Mafe. Now, I'm still really indifferent with this, and I say that for a couple of reasons too, which I think the 30th overall pick, it just depends on how KC does this. Let's say KC trades up earlier with the 29th pick and either goes wide receiver route in a Jameson Williams or a Jermaine Johnson edge rush. That can let KC explore this pick into trading back. I don't really like an edge rusher in this pick because there's not good value there. I don't think Mafe is worth a 30th overall selection. That's just my opinion. I believe he's a better selection at 50. But with that being said too, I don't think he'll be available at 50 because edge rusher is such a huge need. The only way I would feel comfortable with drafting an edge rusher at either 29 or 30 is if Karlaftis falls there. But I've had him mocked here before, so I'm trying to switch up the flavor a little bit. So with my first 2 picks, I got Elam and Mafe, 2 huge needs in the secondary, and then in the pass rush, we're going to get those solidified right away. And now we're diving into the second round. And in the second round, I'm focusing on the secondary again, but I'm focusing on safety. Now, a lot of you do know I'm a huge Daxton Hill fan. But even lower tier, I'm a huge Lewis Cine fan. But with that also, I don't think he'll be available at 50. His status is skyrocketing. Honestly, I can see the Chiefs drafting him at either the 29th or 30th. So what I'm going to do here too, I'm a huge Jaquan Brisker fan too. I love his style of game, and I think he would fit KC's secondary really well. He knows how to sniff out the run. He knows how to go after any receiver. He's great ball hawk. He's a great QB spy too. He monitors the whole field. I think he would be a solid addition. Do I have him on the ranks of like a Daxton Hill or a Lewis Cine? Maybe closer to a Lewis Cine, but Daxton Hill, he's my one that I want in the first round, but if it doesn't go that route, I'd be happy with a Cine or Brisker, and definitely at the 50th position. You already got your cornerback out the way, you got your edge rusher, and now you got a safety. We're building this defense, and that's what I think KC should explore too also. Now, ending off the second round at the 62nd pick, I got my words kind of jumbled, but it's still the same pick, the 62nd pick. We're going to focus on the wide receiver position finally, and this guy is really, really growing on me. And I'm talking about Jalen Tolbert. His highlight tape, his tape in general, just it pops off. He's not the biggest stature type of receiver, but he's still got good size. He's a physical receiver. He's got a good route tree for someone who's coming out of a smaller school, and he's got the burners. He's got a great arsenal as a receiver. And it's funny too because I think second round is the sweet spot for these second tier receivers, and there's a lot of good second tier wide receivers in this draft. I know a lot of people want us to trade up for Jameson Williams. I'm one of those people too, but I know once it goes after Jameson Williams and Drake London and all them, the draft is not over. It's far from it in the receivers. This receivers has depth, and the one I'm most intrigued with right now at this moment, which could change, but at this moment, I would love Jalen Tolbert on this team, and I think if you get him at the end of the second round in the back end, I think that's a great steal, and I think he could be a starter going into year two, but I think he would be a solid slot guy this year. Now, I can't focus on offense too long, and I kind of wanted to because I wanted to kind of get a sneaky pick in there, and I don't want Chiefs Kingdom to be surprised, but don't be surprised if KC focuses on right tackle earlier than later and give Lucas Niang some, competition. Also, too, we don't know how we know his injury history isn't the best. So if you get a solidified right tackle competition, and hey, keep Patrick Mahomes upright. Literally, your whole O-line is basically secured, solidified, besides that right tackle position. So if they do draft that earlier, I wouldn't be surprised, but that's not where I'm going in this route. I'm going to solidify another position. I'm solidifying that linebacking core. We got great young studs in Willie Gay, Nick Bolton. I think we get the guy out of Wisconsin. I think it's Wisconsin. Ooh, I'm getting confused. Is it Wisconsin or Nebraska? You guys let me know. I'm drawing a blank, but I think it's Nebraska. Leo Chanel. I love his game. He's a good run stuffer. He's constantly in the backfield. He's big for a linebacker too, 6'3", 250. He gets a lot of good QB hits. He's in the backfield tackling a lot of running backs. My only concern with him, what I didn't see much, but also too, I don't usually want to see a linebacker doing that, is his coverage skills on receivers. But I know Spags tends to put linebackers on receivers, so I don't know how he does in that aspect. But how he does in the backfield, he goes after the running back, he goes after the quarterback, and I think you have those three young studs. You got one of the hottest linebacking crews in the future, and I would love to see it. Now we're wrapping up this 3-round NFL mock draft with the 103rd pick. I'm going to have the Kansas City Chiefs dipping right back into the edge rush position because, I didn't feel too comfortable with Mafe, and I don't know how he's going to turn out. He could be an amazing addition, but that doesn't mean they got to be set right there. I'm going to go with Isaiah Thomas out of Oklahoma. He is a sneaky kind of player to me. He is very explosive. He is very athletic. He's very powerful. Now, the thing why he slid down so much is because he's really only had one amazing year. And he had 7.5 sacks last year, but if you go back previous then, he really doesn't have no tape whatsoever. So you're getting a raw student of the game, a raw athlete. I know we already have one in Kando too, but I love his production. And I think if he could I just think he can be an excellent pass rusher. And in the future, let's say, he doesn't start right away this year, but you learn behind a Clark, a Chris Jones, even a Mafe, all those pass rushers. You could come in year two because we don't know what the likes of a Frank Clark if he's going to be here next year, because he's basically on a prove-it year now, which I love because that means he's going to play his ass off. But you just don't know how things turn around. So might as well put more fire under that. So cause a little stirring up, cause a little more heat. I like Isaiah Thomas. I think it's a great value at the end of the 3rd round, basically a 4th round pick, because this is your compensatory area. So that's what's going to wrap up this 3-round NFL mock draft. But let's go down the line again. At round 1, pick number 29, I had Elam, solidified cornerback. I think that's a great pick. And then we're going to dive into the edge rushers. We have Mafe. A lot of people love him. I'm leaning that way. I'm getting there. I see how he's explosive and powerful, and he knows how to get after the quarterback. Just not 100% sold, but I'm going to make that selection. At the 50th pick in the 2nd round, I went Jaquan Brisker, solid safety. At the 62nd pick in the 2nd round, we went with Jalen Tolbert, one of my favorite receivers, sneaky receiver coming out in this draft. And then in the 3rd round, at the 94th pick, I went linebacker. Let's shore up that linebacking core with Leo Chanel. And then to wrap up this 3-round NFL mock draft, I went Isaiah Thomas. I ain't talking about he balling on the court. He going to be taking the quarterbacks down on the field. You guys, let me know what you think of this 3-round NFL mock draft. And please, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. And I want to hear your comments too. I want to see some of your guys' mock drafts too. Leave them in the comments down below. I want to see how you guys think the direction the Kansas City Chiefs will go. But with that, I'm checking out. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'll check back with you either Sunday with a surprise video or back with the simulator on Monday. But y'all take care.